passage planning is the most essential element of taking a vessel safely from point A to point B. The guidelines for passage planning are given in Bridge Procedure Guide and also on MCA website. It's very important to plan the whole passage with the 4 stages of passage planning, which is appraisal, planning, execution, monitoring, and every element is incorporated for safely taking a yacht from one place to another. In this session, we're going to have a look at how to do passage planning. The 4 stages of passage planning is appraisal, planning, execution, and monitoring. The appraisal stage is basically gathering information from various charts and publications. But the first step is to make sure that all those charts and publications are up to date using the latest notice to mariners. The charts and publication you're going to use is first of all the chart catalog. Using the chart catalog, you're going to decide what charts will be required for the passage. You would find all the navigational charts, any mnemonic charts. You would also use Admiralty list of radio signals to find out port or pilot information or any VTS information. You would use list of lights to find out details of any lighthouses which you're going to use in your passage. You would use tide tables to find out the tide for various ports you're going to visit. You would use sailing direction to find the recommended routes and various other relevant information for the passage. You can use ocean passage of the world if you're doing cross ocean passages like across Atlantic or cross Pacific. The Mariner Handbook can give you essential information for the passage. You would use ocean routing charts for planning passages for ocean routes. You would also need load line charts if you're passing through various load line zones. Tidal stream atlases can give you details about tidal stream at various locations. You would use co-tidal or co-range charts for finding high water times in offshore areas because they cannot be found by regular tide tables. You can use distance tables to find distances between ports. You can use planning charts for special areas. You would also use synoptic charts for finding weather updates. You would use other information such as NavTech information, or you can find nav warnings using your Inmarsat at sea. You might need charterers information. You would need ETD or ETA for your passage. You would need departure drafts and arrival drafts for your voyage. Any bunkering information. Any master standing instruction. The next stage of passage planning is planning. This is the stage where you actually work on the charts once you have gathered the information. You start off by stacking the charts in the order of use. You would find your safety depth, which is a combination of draft and underkeel clearance. You would then mark your initial and final position. Make sure you have all the information on the waypoint and mark it off on the chart. You would then draw a freehand passage based on recommendation by sailing direction or ocean passages of the world. You would decide your waypoints. Then fine-tune your waypoints to nearest grid line or to get good numbers, because you don't want ugly numbers like 3.333 or 3.003. It makes it much easier to feed in your GPS ACDIS. Erase the freehand drawing. And then mark off, join these waypoints with straight line. You would then mark your course and distances. Make sure these course and distances are elongated vertically, because it's a bit like road map or road marks. As you would be using them flat on the chart table, they should be elongated, much more readable that way. You would then mark your no-go areas, which are simple hatched lines like these. Do not obscure relevant information on the chart by making very thick lines. Called the master point that you can find out from your master. Standby engine point, contingency anchorages, which are pre-decided points just in case you have any problems. You can go there to anchor. You would also mark things like parallel indexing lines, which are just parallel lines to your course line to a fixed object, which you can use for parallel indexing later on. You will mark reporting points, clearing bearings, any speed information, wheel over positions, abort points. Once you've done that, then you would fill up your passage planning table and discuss the plan with your bridge team. And that's the planning stage. Stage 3 is execution. It's a common belief that execution is carrying it out, but that's a myth. Execution is actually the final changes which you make to your passage plan based on latest information. You might have made a passage plan 10 days in advance. Finally, maybe your ETD changes. Your whole passage plan has to be revised. If your ETD changes, your tide changes, your weather changes, lots of other information have to be revised. You might have to get new weather updates, and based on that, you have to change your passage plan. You might miss a convoy because of your delayed departure. You might have to revise your passage plan. That's execution. Your captain instruction might change. You might have to revise your passage plan. Maybe your charterer's instruction might change. You have to execute your passage plan. The last stage is monitoring. Monitoring is basically monitoring your progress along the planned passage using various means, like using GPS to plot your position at regular interval, making sure you are in the planned track. You would use other means like radar or visual means or celestial means to plot your position on the chart at regular intervals. You would monitor weather and change your passage plan if required. You would also monitor schedule so that you are on track. You would monitor engine RPM and other instruments on board. That's part of monitoring. You would also monitor your heading. You would also do continuous depth monitoring, and that's the monitoring stage. So these are the stages of passage plan. Thanks for watching.